All the time, bums like you come to me and say, cj.fitguy, I eat so much food, why can't I gain weight? Or, I practically eat nothing, why aren't I losing weight? Well, there are some things you might not know that you need to take into consideration. Fat loss ultimately comes down to your calorie balance. This is the concept of calories in, calories out that you've heard 1,000 times over. Your body burns a certain amount of calories daily based on a variety of factors. The sum of all the calories burned when taking said factors into consideration is a figure called your TDEE, your total daily energy expenditure. But what is this figure really comprised of, and could one of those factors be the reason why you're not losing or gaining weight? For starters, there's your BMR, your basal metabolic rate. This is the amount of calories your body requires to simply exist based on organ function, breathing, things like that. If you were lying in bed, awake with your eyes open, the amount of calories you need to exist throughout the day and function properly would be your BMR. Then there's TEF, the thermic effect of food, which is the amount of energy it takes for your body to digest, absorb, and metabolize the food that you eat. The amount of energy it takes depends on the macronutrient profile of the food that you're eating. The TEF usually represents about 10% of the caloric intake of said food. Then there's the factor which most people are aware of, physical activity. This is things like aerobic exercise, strength training, etc. Where people go wrong is the idea that you can out-train a bad diet. It takes about a mile to burn 100 calories approximately, but if you come back inside and have a crumble cookie, that's going to negate the effect of the exercise you just did. Then there's the final factor, NEAT. Non-exercise activity thermogenesis. This is me pacing back and forth in my bedroom. This is me kicking my legs or fidgeting with things. It's what you do when you're not voluntarily exercising, but you're still moving around on a daily basis. This can be very hard to track because you're not actively thinking about it when you're doing it. Oftentimes, I find myself pacing back and forth in different rooms of the house if I'm listening to music or an audiobook, and I'm not really in my thoughts in that moment. Instead, I'm just doing it out of habit. Not to mention that your levels of NEAT can range very widely, with variance up to 2,000 calories per day between two individuals of similar size. When you're dieting and want to track your progress, pick around 2 days in the week where you're measuring your weight in the morning, fasted after having gone to the bathroom with no clothes on. This is going to provide you with multiple progress markers across your journey to see how much weight you've lost or gained.